Welcome to the show. I'm Jen. My guest today is Steve Rosenstein, co-owner of the Deuce. And if you've been downtown, you definitely know the Deuce. It is a phenomenal place to hang out.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for creating a cool space for everybody in downtown Phoenix.
Well, it was so much fun doing it.
Well, I have to say right off the bat, before we get any further, that Steve is half of the dynamic duo that makes up you and your beautiful wife, Andi. So it's a joint venture in everything that you do together. So
it's pretty much been that way since she walked into my life in 1986 to interview for a job.
Really?
Which she ended up getting, and now she's my boss. That's how
She's
it
always
works.
been your boss,
exactly.
Really. Well, tell me that story real quick. That wasn't part of my thoughts here, but I want to know.
It's the best part of our story. I'd graduated from the University of Arizona. And I got a job, ASU girl, right? Got a job selling surfwear for an LA-based surfwear manufacturer. And I was based in the Midwest. I had moved back to Chicago. I had a surfboard, I had a showroom, surfboard in the window, and Andi walked in with her resume one day. I said, I'm a struggling 25-year-old guy. I can't afford you. But if anything opens up, I'll call you. And I fell in love with her that second.
Wow.
So she was calling me, following up, and long story short, my boss called me and said, we're launching a women's division. Go hire the female version of all you guys, these young guys right out of college that could look like they could surf, even though I couldn't. And so I said, I already met her. So I hired Andi. And that's how we started working together, and ultimately decided we could go out on our own. And before there was athleisure, which I hate the word, we started a company called Fatigues, which was really just great sweats made in America, but with a really cool urban twist.
Yeah, I mean, I know that brand. I want to hear more about Fatigues. I know that brand from years ago because you did have a presence in Scottsdale with your product. And it's a phenomenal brand. So to have that vision, and I know probably you made that comment about athleisure because you were light years ahead of that.
We were. And it was really just similar to everything we've done, including the Deuce. It was really just an extension of how we loved living, how we loved dressing, hanging out, and we were really creating clothes back then in the 80s for yuppies living in lofts that were just kind of bumming around on the weekends in their old college sweats. And that's really what inspired Fatigues.
So you were married at this point and you start the company?
No, so we got married in '92. We started Fatigues together in '88. There was no time to get married.
Yeah.
But lived together for 6 years, and you know, once things settled down a little bit, tied the knot, ran with Fatigues until we moved out here. And then we got acquired by a public company in 2006, retired for about a half a day.
I was going to say, wasn't moving out here retirement?
No, it was just our kids were little.
Okay.
They were 4 and 8, and loved Chicago. Loved living in the city. But gray skies all the time. I'm just not one of those guys that can be inside that much, and I didn't want that for my boys either. So we decided to move out here, and it was an amazing thing. So we moved up to North Scottsdale.
So you did sell, and then you were going to do retirement.
We really weren't. We moved out here. We still own the company, and then we got acquired 5 years after we moved out here. And then it was kind of like, well, the kids are still little. It's not like we're going to go travel around the world. And we love to work anyway. We're creators, we're visionary, so we really couldn't sit still.
So when I did the intro, I said co-owner of the Deuce. So now bring us to how that happened.
The day we were supposed to be retired, we were going to take a few months off. The day we got up and had nothing to do, I opened up my emails because it was just sort of a reflex over coffee. Somebody had sent me a photo of an old brick warehouse in downtown Phoenix, which I thought was Chicago, because I owned a building just like it, renovated it. It was our Fatigues world headquarters. And I looked at the picture and it said, it's on Lincoln and Central. I woke Andy up and I said, there's a warehouse in Paradise Valley. So I'm thinking Lincoln.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get in the Jeep, let's drive down there. So of course we get on Scottsdale Road, drive south, turn right on Lincoln, and called the guy that sent it, and I said, I don't see any industrial space. He goes, you're on the wrong Lincoln. Go to the 51. You got to go down into the hood, which we did. We drove down into the warehouse district. It was...
And it wasn't what it is today.
No. I mean, there were some beautiful warehouses, but they were vacant.
Yep.
They hadn't been renovated yet. There was really nothing down there other than us and the D-backs and the Suns at the time.
Yep.
No light rail, no ASU.
So you really had to have a vision to see how this was going to be a destination.
We did, but we were also city people. We had done something similar in Chicago in a much rougher part of town. And we just felt like if we could create something cool enough down there, there's enough of us that are moving here from Chicago, Minneapolis, Boston, New York, they're craving this kind of stuff. And we did it. And for the first couple of years, I said, oh my God, did we screw this up? We could have been retired.
Yeah.
Now we're running around here trying to figure out how to get people to come to the wrong side of the tracks, which is now the right side of the tracks. But it was quite a journey and a real adventure for us.
Yeah, and an industry that you really didn't know.
We didn't even know what industry we were getting into, Jen. We just had this big building with these great bones, and so what it started as is really what it is now. It started as really an entertainment community kind of gathering spot, serving great food and great drinks. You can do anything there. I teach boxing classes, there's a ring. We do a lot of live entertainment down there. That's our main thing. Special events and live entertainment every weekend. From
weddings to charity events to
hosting
everything.
Bands as big as Macklemore. So, which a lot of people don't know about that, but those bands love playing at more intimate places like the Deuce. So, that's
pretty incredible. So the Deuce has been
The Deuce opened It was always our tradition to try to open stores on Mother's Day because our moms were the only ones that always said go for it. So we opened Mother's Day of 2010.
Wow. Well, congratulations on that and what you've helped bring to downtown Phoenix as well.
Appreciate it. Well, downtown Phoenix has been great to us too. So
the community's welcomed you, and
the community has, and it's and the people, you know, even the people working within the city. You know, when Mayor Gordon was mayor, he was a huge help to us. Christine Mackey, the economic development director, has always been so supportive of all of our crazy ideas because it's been good for Phoenix and it's been good for that part of Phoenix.
Yeah, I would think it does need to be collaborative. You know, to really, I mean,
absolutely. And it should be.
Well, one of the other collaborations that you're proud of and has always been part of who you are and your family is giving back and supporting the community, Phoenix Children's Hospital being one of them and others. Why is that important to you?
Well, I just think I mean, it's who we are. You can't, well, I shouldn't say you can't. It's not for everybody. We just believe in it. I mean, you've got to give back. And I'm not just talking about today. I mean, we've been, for as long as we've been in business, whatever little bit of money we had, we always tried to give back.
And you engage the community to give back.
We engage the community. We try to, whenever possible, engage children so that they get involved at an early age. In our fatigues days, our stores were in the most affluent neighborhoods in the country.
Yeah, that's for those that might remember Borgata.
Right,
that
Borgata,
was where you were here.
You know, the best neighborhoods in Chicago, Birmingham, Michigan, Newport Beach, wherever. These children are lucky. So to get them involved in helping their peers who are a little bit less fortunate, a lot less fortunate in a lot of cases, we both know that because we were both involved with Phoenix Children's Hospital.
Absolutely.
It's awareness and it's education, and it teaches them early what's important.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
So on the family kid note, let's talk about, before we finish up, the family affair that you all have. So your boys have grown up, they're in their 20s now, and what are they doing?
They're involved in both businesses. We're still in the clothing business. We have another clothing brand called R&R Surplus, which
is such a cool brand.
Thank you. It picks up where Fatigues left off, but we manufacture it in LA. The women's collection is designed by Andi, and the men's collection is designed by Luke, our 23-year-old. So again, very sort of boxing gym chic.
And Jake is at the Deuce.
Jake is pretty much running the show at the Deuce. He's driving that business. He's 27. He is just a sharp young guy that's just loves it. He's very passionate about it. He's super ambitious. And
everyone likes being together?
We do, for the most part.
Yeah,
we love being with them. There's times where they're like, why don't you guys just take a night off?
Right. Well, you're still mom and dad. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But how blessed are you to have that where you can all be together and, you know, provide an environment and a job where you can all have fun and be together?
Beyond blessed.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, we're glad you're doing that in Arizona, too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, tell Andi that the next time she has to come on the show.
I will tell her that, but she's the shy one in the family.
That's all right. We'll warm her up.
Once you
with
get her
candy.
talking, she'll be fine.
I've seen her do some media and some public speaking, so
yeah,
we'll get her in here.
Awesome.
Thank you for taking the time to be here today.
Thank you, and thank you for everything you do for the community, because I'm aware, and so is the rest of Phoenix. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for watching the show. We'll see you next time on Now with Jen.